Hello. So I thought I should make a video lecture notes, like video notes on my programming experience of Python. So let's get through the first video of my programming lectures, not lectures but video notes, what I've made by my in my learning process team. All right, right. So in this session we'll learn. In this particular video we'll go through hardware architecture, understanding basics of programming, why it is and what it is, and variable name rules, type, numeric expression, type conversions, reserved words, order of evaluation, user input, variable expression, statement, pandas, which is an important concept, and get to know what is a hardware. Okay, what is a hardware? So a computer system basically consists of a basic of 3 or 4 important devices, in which the primary one is CPU, which is central processing unit, and the sole job of CPU is to compute or calculate or do things. What should I do next? What is my next instruction to do? All right, as a human we give instructions, and CPU asks for instruction what to do next, and then comes the main memory. So main memory is something which is inside a motherboard, like consider it as a RAM. Okay, what it does, it stores the value, it takes the data from the secondary memory and stores it in the main memory for like high speed processing of the data. So and then comes the like not let's that's one more thing, that when we shut down electricity for the computer, and it erases all the memory of what is stored in RAM, or like primary memory or main memory. So then comes the secondary memory. It is like the hard drives and pen drives, the external storage devices and internal storage devices. They store data efficiently for the long term, and even you cut the power, it will remain there. So basic, like, it's your hard drive. That's basic thing. And the I/O devices. The I/O devices, they are basically input and output. You know what, keyboard and mouse. These are the basic things. Okay. Network is something that you need to communicate from other computer, right? If you want to share a file, what you will use on a phone, a Wi-Fi sharing app, right? A Bluetooth sharing file via Bluetooth. What computer does, it communicates over the network for to get to the internet. So there are various protocols and different level, like computer network and networking is an entire subject for the studies. So and basic hardware is also an entire subject of study. Those are like A plus certification and network plus certification. So let's get to the next topic, understanding programming. So what is programming and why we do programming? Like, to understand programming, you need to know two most important things: the language, and secondary, the way you write your program, like how to write a program, how to make it efficient, so efficient that every person who knows little bit of the little grammar of the programming language can read. So first of all, you need to know the grammar of the language, so vocabulary and how to make a syntax, how to create a sentence. Okay, when you write a book or when you write something else like a journal, you know, like from our childhood we have taught how to write sentence that can speak to someone else. In programming it's the same way, how to write a syntax that can communicate to a processor or a compiler or an interpreter or another programmer. So you need to know the language and its grammar and its vocabulary, and then you try to write a story on that grammar and vocabulary. That is what programming is. So let's go to the next slide, which is reserved words. Okay, these are 30 reserved words of Python which you cannot use in your program, or like you cannot use it as a variable name or something like defined as a function, because these are specific function already written in the language inside it, so we can use it. So they are like, you can use it, okay, but you cannot use it as a variable name or a function definition or a something like a dictionary or tuples name or a lists name. Okay, you not assign these words, these specific words to a variable. Okay, you use this like these are the default words which is designed for us to use in a simplified way. They're all a small little programs in their own self. Let's jump to the variable. So what is a variable? When we were in school, we have been taught like what is a variable and what is constant. Okay, constant is something that cannot be changed, like a number, right? It's a constant value. it's x, it's a variable, you can use it. Like in maths, people make memes like, why do I have to find the value of x? Big. So let's give them a simple example, right? There's something in a complex problem, and that thing you don't know, so you assign that thing a name to find out, right? That's a mathematical part of it. And in a programming, we use a specific name for something, like if you want to store a data or something like that can be changed in a future aspect, right? So it will be a variable. So let's jump to the rules of naming variables. Okay, there are three basic things that you have to like check in your mind, right? First thing, that it is a case sensitive, right? So uppercase, lowercase mistakes, Python knows that. What Python, like, it didn't know what is uppercase and what is lowercase because it has their own different values inside it. So uppercase letter is a different from lowercase letter, so it is strictly prohibited to use uppercase instead of lowercase and lowercase of instead of uppercase if you have already assigned that name. If you assigned with like lowercase, to recall it you have to use a lowercase to write that function or variable or something, whatever you have, whatever you want to write. Okay. And a variable name can be started from a letter or underscore, but you cannot use number in the front of it. You always have to start it from a letter or an underscore, and except underscore there's no other special ASCII character can be used inside a variable name or a function name. So these are the basic rules. Let me show you what happens when you use. Okay. Python 3. Yeah, we'll be running Python 3. I don't know why people still use Python 2. That's like riding an old car that crashes every time you drive it. So let's create a variable name like underscore, anything else than underscore, and that doesn't start with like from whatever, like. Okay, we are putting this is like complex name, so let's like 66 ik. So it's our variable, and let's assign a string inside it. So abc, and it will show error, syntax error, because you cannot use a number in front of a variable name. If I wrote it like ik, it will be acceptable. Ik equals to abc, that's string abc. Print print ik. We got that value. Okay, we can also use underscore inside the words. So if I put the underscore inside here, it will be a legitimate thing or legitimate variable. So print. I hate my typing skills. Ik. That's, we have changed that variable name now. Like now let's change the value inside ik, right? So we'll be using blah blah. I don't have a girlfriend. That's the sad truth. Okay. Print ik. And why the hell it happened? So I have used an uppercase K, right? Look at it. I have used an uppercase K. Okay. Check this out. This is an uppercase K. This is lowercase K. And when I was assigning this value, variable, the variable name was I underscore K, and both of the letter were underscore, like in lowercase. Sorry, not underscore. In lowercase. So that's the problem. You cannot use random gibberish. Python will not understand your grammatical mistakes. You have to change those problems. Like you have to think about it. Like you have to cross check it when you write it. People make mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. So those are the basic errors you'll get, and that's not a bad thing. Just you should just keep doing it. One day everyone has a problem. I still have those problems. I still get a syntax error. It's not like I'm a god or something. It's not like no developer is a god. People make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes. You will get to it, get to know it. Okay. Assignment statement. So what is assignment statement? Let's let's now go back to the definition, or like points in the assignment statement. We assign a value to a variable using assignment statement which is equals to sign. Okay, a single equals to sign. It is assignment. Okay, the assignment statement consists of an expression on the right hand side and a variable to store a result. Let's go back to our this is right. So let's make a variable named, like, what is assignment statement? This is assignment statement. Okay, so we are naming it. We are naming a variable name variable1, and then we assigned it some value in it. So 67 plus 88 6, not that complex. 60, that will do it, but plus 1. So now we'll print what is var1. We get 61 as a value, right? So sort. So this part, this is a variable name, and this is assignment statement. Assignment is a process when we assign something to a variable, and we have a complex problem on the right side, where a complex operation is happening. It's not a too much complex, but it's a complex problem for a machine. It had to do addition, and this is a variable name. So every assignment statement has a complex operation on the right side of it, and the variable name on the left side of it. So let's go back to our expression. What we just wrote, 60 plus 1 is an expression. We are expressing something to do. Now let's get to the numerical portion of Python interpreter. So it is not like common what we use a mathematical signs in our regular math. It is not what we use in programming. In programming we use different sets of characters to show different type of a mathematical operation. Like for positive we use the standard positive sign, for negative we a hyphen or a tag. Now, we don't have a long minus sign in it, but it's used for hyphen, not hyphen but a tag. And then for multiplication you have to use asterisk. For division we use slash, and for exponentiation we use double asterisk, and for the remainder modulo operator we use this percentage symbol or whatever you used to call it. Still don't know what is the name of it. Okay, so let's do some mathematical operation in our terminal. Python interpreter, sorry, not terminal, it's a Python interpreter. Like 5 plus 5, let's do some stupid thing. 5 plus 4, syntax error, which is not possible. Sorry for the bug. 5 plus 9, 4. 5 multiplied by 4, 20. 5 divided by 4, 1.25. It's giving a float value. If you have given an integer value, then now it's giving me a float value. If I will let's make it something let's make a complex thing, like xc, okay, equals to 5 plus 4, right? Print and c, what will get a 1, not 1.25. I've just converted that value of c from float to an integer value. Okay, so let's 5 modulo 4, remainder will be 1. 5 exponentiated by 4, 600 to 55. Isn't that cool? Yeah, just a calculator behind. So this is the same Python interpreter. I made it. And order of evaluation. So in a mathematical problem we use parentheses as a primary thing, right? If we have a parenthesis, like multiplication of a parenthesis, let's make a complex thing. C equals to this is 4 multiplied by 7 plus 2 whole divided by 3. Hmm. Okay, I just had an indentation error. Life sucks. Print C 12.4. Okay, let's remove this and what we'll get. But just to know, like parentheses, like in BODMAS we used to like multiply the like open up our bracket first to do things. Like we have to solve the first step as a bracket, then we go for like other operation. So this is what it is. And what do you mean by type? So type, let me show you something. Okay, let's have a variable name variable 2 which has a value inside which is a string and not a center class. So if I want to know what type of, if I seen somewhere in the code where is like put some variable inside it and I didn't know what is inside it, so let's get the value of it, like what it has inside it. Where do it has a string type inside it. There are several types of like numbers in it, like floating point number and integer type number. Integer type number are like whole number. They are like separate entity, like, but in a floating point number we have a decimal value after it. So user input, it is the most important concept, because when you write a program, sometimes you want to get an input from the user. If you made a program and there has to be some interaction with the user, like filling up a form, then you will have to get an input of a user. So let's make something flow. No, flow. Name is a variable which has input inside it, and if we are giving an input, like we have to pop something out for the message. Enter it just gave me an option to enter a value inside it, so I can put I can give a variable, like I can make a variable which can store data from a user input. So my name is Sean. Print name. Let's print something special, like I have to greet, I have to like welcome. Welcome now. Don't you see how fun it is to write code and make new stuff? I don't know why they didn't taught us Python in school. So thank you.